Big update today, May 1st, 2025, as we saw President Donald Trump come out with an announcement regarding that big, beautiful bill, he calls it, as we're hearing that no taxes on Social Security. And also, there are other agenda items, and he has confirmed these are included in the bill. Now, we're hearing that there was a big meeting today regarding that big, beautiful bill in Congress, and they're saying progress is being made. We might be just days away to details, specific details on the provisions included being revealed. Let's go ahead and take a look at these headlines so you can see it for yourself. And I'm going to be diving into video footage as Reporter's Notebook, where we stand with Trump's big, beautiful bill. I'm going to give you the details on this. Coming out today, you can see May 1st, 2025. In addition to that, Americans to get income tax relief in the tax bill, what to know. And in this article coming out yesterday, they're going to be giving details about no tax on Social Security. But even better, I'm going to be playing for you the video footage that came out today as Donald Trump has confirmed this. And a lot of people are still asking, and we are yet to see. As soon as we find out, I'll let you know. Trump is teasing about the idea of Doge stimulus checks in a fundraising email, as we're hearing that big, beautiful bill might also include Doge dividend refund checks. Let me know your thoughts. Would you like to see those? If so, put yes. If no, put no. We're hearing there's a lot of people that are saying, hey, 20% of those Doge clawbacks going to the American people in the form of a stimulus refund check would be nice. And there's some people that are saying no. Just put it all towards dealing with our debt, deficit, taking care of our economy. Let me know your thoughts. Yes or no? Would you like to see a Doge dividend refund check? Well, I'm going to give you the latest information coming out on this big, beautiful bill, where things stand. We're hearing taxes being eliminated on Social Security. I'm going to play for you the video footage so you can see it for yourself. And also, all these articles that I'm going to be referencing, as always, I'm going to cite them with hyperlinks down below so you can click it, see it for yourself. But I'm also going to put it on the screen, read right from it, so that way you can see it and know and rest assured that this is the latest information coming out. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, before we do, also do me a favor, take a quick second, hit that like button for me. Hitting that like button helps spread this out further so more people can get the latest updated information. And to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell if this is your first time here. I'll keep you up to speed on everything that's going on, from Social Security to Doge dividend stimulus refund checks to what's happening with conflict around the world, tariffs, the economy. I'll keep you up to speed on everything with the breaking news so you know exactly what is going on. And in addition to that, I wanted to let you guys know that if you or someone you know is turning 65 or maybe is already on Medicare, this is important. Today you can see on the screen free Medicare help. I've partnered with Chapter Medicare. They're a service that I trust to give you honest help navigating Medicare. They compare different plans in your area to make sure that you don't miss out on the benefits that you have earned. So they're independent, which means that they advocate for you, not for some sort of company. So you can call the number on the screen, or you can click the link that I have down in the description below to get started today. It's free. It's easy, and it can help save you a lot of money. So check them out if you're interested. Free Medicare help right here, 984-375-0879. I'll also pin it in the comments. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this so that way you can see it for yourself. And let's start off with Donald Trump's announcement today as he covers where things stand with this bill and his agenda items. And he comes out and says one of the items that you're going to see is no tax on Social Security. And if you like the sound of that, drop a 47 in the comments, hit that like button, and let's go ahead and take a look at the video footage so you can see it for yourself.
Welcome back to CBS News 24/7, where we continue to follow the president as he holds a prayer service in the Rose Garden of the White House right now. Just moments ago, the president touched on those tariffs we've been talking about and so many are protesting about on this May Day. Let's listen in.
Before we begin, I want to let you know what I was just doing in a really great meeting with Speaker Johnson. We had also Majority Leader Steve Scalise, Chairman Brett Guthrie, who's a fantastic guy, and Chairman Smith. Everybody knows Chairman Smith. He's the most knowledgeable person on taxes and finances there is, to be updated on the progress of the one big, beautiful bill. We love that bill. I won't like it if it doesn't pass, neither will you. Doesn't pass, your taxes are going to go up 68%. So think of it, 68. And this is a religious ceremony to me, but that's part of the religion. Because if your taxes go up 68%, you might give up your religion. You might have no choice. You'll be working too hard to try and make it. And that's the Democrats. That's what they'll give you. They'll vote against it. It's not even believable. It's called Trump derangement syndrome because, honestly, everything in there is good for Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else. These will be the biggest tax cuts in American history with 100% expensing, which is something that people cannot believe they're getting. We did it in the last one, and we had the most successful economy in my first 4 years that we've ever had, the history of our country. And expensing was one of the things that led to that. But it's 100% expensing for companies investing in America and increasing take-home pay for the typical family by thousands of dollars a year. And to show you how middle income this is, there'll be no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax for the great seniors in Social Security. So you have no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we have full deduction for interest. If you buy a car that's made in America, you get an interest rate deduction. That's going to be it's got to be made in America. If it's not made in America, we really don't care if you buy it or not. But if it's made in America, we want you to buy it. We make the best cars anyway. Things are moving along very well, and I just wanted to say the final details are coming together, and they're coming together rapidly, and I think we're right on schedule, Mike and everyone. And I want to thank you and this group and all of the people that are over there right now, not in the sun. They're working on the bill. It will be the biggest bill ever passed in the history of our Congress, our Senate, and Congress. That's a big achievement. One of the things that's very important will be saving Medicaid for Americans in need. We will not let the Democrats destroy it and all the waste, fraud, and abuse that they seem to love. And they will decimate Medicaid if they get the chance. We're not going to give them that chance. So just remember, we will be saving Medicaid and strengthening it. It'll be actually very strengthened. And they are going to decimate it. We can't let it happen. And very simply, to finish that, we will make America rich and healthy again. Now, why don't we say rich, healthy, and religious again, okay? Shall I add that for this group? Right, Dan Patrick? Thanks as well to the great people that are here. Pete Hegseth, who's doing a fantastic job. Pete, thank you.
All right, so as we watch the president's comment at that prayer event, we're mindful of the 3 M's there. Of course, first headline, he said they're going to save Medicaid, which is what a lot of Democrats have worried, some of the details.
So there you have it, you guys. So that was Trump earlier today with that announcement. You heard him say no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. These are some of the agenda items that he wants to see included in the bill. And I'm also going to be sharing with you some more updates that have been coming out from Congress on this, as you heard him say that right now they're working on this as we speak. But let's take a look at an article that just came out on this. This one is from Fox News. You can see coming out today, May 1st, 2025, where it says, where we stand with Trump's big, beautiful bill. Now, this article reads, do not underestimate the importance of Thursday's meeting today at the White House with President Donald Trump, House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith, and Energy Commerce Committee Chairman Brett Guthrie. Now, Guthrie, those committee chairmen are looking for guidance from the president about what they need to put in this big, beautiful bill. So as we speak today, May 1st, this is happening right now. They are figuring out those detailed line items, what is in Trump's agenda, what can be included to pass through Congress. And you heard him say no tax on Social Security. Freedom, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Steve, there is many issues so far that have not come through. Social Security has not been fixed. I have no faith in our government, and I want to see the actual changes, not just talk. Freedom, I agree with you. I think there are so many people on board with you, and let's see what they're going to be able to pull off here in Congress with Trump pushing for this. As you just saw in the video footage, he is saying no tax on Social Security. We will see. I hope they come through. I will keep you up to date regardless of what unfolds here. Let's continue on. It says those committee chairmen are looking for guidance from the president about what they need to put in this big, beautiful bill. Republicans agree on board principles, but specifics are the key to either passing or failing this bill. So they passed the framework. They've agreed to this. The reconciliation process has gone through. Now they must go through each and every potential line item that could be included and make sure that they are on board to get this done. Now, it says most Republicans are willing to get behind the president. He has more power in this dynamic than the committee chairman. But they have not yet scheduled their meetings to write details for the bill because they aren't sure exactly what the White House wants. Congressional Republicans are just 26 days away from Memorial Day, the deadline set by the House Speaker Mike Johnson to pass this bill. Multiple House committees hammered through their plans for the bill, but the two most important committees, Ways and Means and Energy and Commerce, they have still not yet met on this bill. Now, the Ways and Means Committee is in charge of writing the specifics of the tax policy. Energy and Commerce is asking to cut $880 billion. Some of that will touch on entitlement programs if the GOP truly goes that deep with cuts. But already Republicans are running out of track with such tight deadlines. In the movie Smokey and the Bandit, country star Jerry Reed sings the title track Eastbound and Down. The lyrics go, "We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there." That epitomizes the problem facing congressional Republicans as they race to finish this bill soon with the hardest decisions yet to be made. So there you have it, you guys. We're hearing that the reconciliation process, where they can bypass the filibuster, Republicans who hold the majority in Congress can get this done on their own. They have passed that process, but now they must do these final steps, which they're saying might be the most difficult, and that is getting all of those details ironed out in this bill. Now, what do those details include? We had heard Trump say just today in that video footage I played for you that he wants no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, an assortment of different agenda items that he let us know he wants to see included in this bill. He is calling them out, saying these need to be in there. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this coming out in the last 24 hours. Americans to get income tax relief in this tax bill, what to know. And we've also heard some people say also Doge dividend refund checks could be included. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date. Now, let's take a look at this article. And it says Donald Trump has pledged income tax relief for millions of Americans. But what exactly has the president promised? Earlier this month, Republicans approved a budget resolution that includes trillions of dollars in cuts to both taxes and government spending. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said on Tuesday that the forthcoming bill would also eliminate taxes on tips, overtime pay, and Social Security benefits. There you have it, you guys. So they said this 2 days ago. The forthcoming bill would also eliminate taxes on tips, overtime pay, and Social Security benefits will not be taxed either. Speaking at a Tuesday rally in Michigan to mark his first 100 days in office, Trump also renewed his commitment to these measures, all of which were key election campaign promises. In the coming weeks and months, we will pass the largest tax cuts in American history, and that will include no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, Trump told a crowd in Warren just outside of Detroit on Tuesday. And here you can see the post on X. No tax on tips. Throughout his 2024 campaign, Trump pledged to end tipped income being subject to federal income taxes. The pledge was popular, also being taken on by his opponent, Kamala Harris. All cash and non-cash tips received by employees are considered income and are therefore currently subject to federal income tax, as well as Social Security and Medicare tax. Outside of the Republican budget bill, other lawmakers have taken action. A bipartisan group of lawmakers led by Texas Representative Ted Cruz introduced the No Tax on Tips Act in January. The bill exempts cash tips, cash credit, and debit card charges and checks from federal income tax by allowing taxpayers to claim a 100% deduction at filing for tip wages. End of Social Security income tax. Trump first pledged to end all taxes levied on Social Security benefits in July. Writing on his social media platform, Truth Social, seniors should not pay tax on Social Security. And if you like the sound of that, drop a 47 in the comments and hit that like button for me if you haven't done so yet. As it currently stands, those who claim Social Security retirement benefits, whose total income is above a certain threshold, have to pay taxes on part or all of their benefits. Single filers earning $25,000 to $34,000 may pay tax on 50% of their benefits. Those earning more may be taxed up to 85%. For joint filers, the thresholds are $32,000 to $44,000 for 50% taxation and above $44,000 for up to 85%. No tax on overtime. In September 2024, during his presidential campaign, Trump pledged to eliminate federal income taxes on overtime pay for workers exceeding 40 hours per week. As it stands, the Fair Labor Standard Act mandates that eligible workers get at least 1.5 times their standard pay rate for hours worked beyond the typical 40-hour work week. However, this is currently taxed at regular federal income tax rates, like regular income, and is also subject to Social Security and Medicare taxes. Now, how will the tax cuts be paid for? Bessent said the lost revenue from the tax cuts will be replaced by income from Trump's tariff agenda. And this is what we had heard Trump say, that the tariffs, he said he is so confident that the tariffs that are going to be coming in could be so great that it could potentially make it so there is no tax at all on income for those making $200,000 a year or less. And if you like the sound of that, again, drop that 47 in the comments. Hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. But Trump is saying that these are going to be paid for through tariffs. He's actually saying we're going to need to really emphasize the ERS, the External Revenue Service, rather than the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. So we're going to be seeing what comes out here. Now, reading on, it says, we're going to take in long-term tariff revenue. We put a process in place, Bessent said from the White House on Tuesday. What President Trump is referring to is the ability for tariff revenue to give income tax relief, and I think there's a very good chance we will see this in the upcoming tax bill. The president campaigned on no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, he said, explaining that tariff income could be used for tax relief on all those immediately. Now, Trump and the economy, his renewed pledges come at a time when American public's faith in Trump's ability to steward the economy is dropping. In a Reuters Ipsos poll conducted last week, just 36% of respondents approved of Trump's economic stewardship, the lowest level across both of his presidential terms. A CNN poll released Sunday showed that just 39% of Americans currently approve of Trump's handling of the economy. The Ipsos Reuters poll also found that 42% of Americans said they approved of Trump's overall performance as the president so far, while 53% disapproved, down from 47% approval in the same poll in January. Wow. Let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with these polls? Do you think that Donald Trump is doing a good job on the economy? Are you happy? If so, put yes. If you're not, put no. How is Donald Trump doing? Let me know. But we're hearing from this article, according to certain polls that have been given, they're claiming that many people are not happy. Now, keep in mind, this is a poll that came out from CNN, so it might be slightly skewed. Also, they're saying there's another poll that came out from Reuters. Again, we're hearing that a lot of these news media outlets are not necessarily fans of Donald Trump, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Swivelhead Media, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It says this affects such a small portion of the population, it won't help the majority of the economy. We need overall tax cuts by about 15% for everyone. Well, we will see, Swivelhead Media, what they decide to come out with, or Swivelhead Medic. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Once we get all the details of the bills, the tax cuts, what's going to be included, I'll keep you up to speed because, yeah, we're hearing that there are several different agenda items that Trump would like to see in that bill, and we will see. Now, I'm seeing a lot of yeses pouring in. People are saying yes, they like how things are going so far. They like what Donald Trump is doing with the economy, and they disagree with these polls coming out from CNN. Now, also, I will keep you up to date on what we're hearing is the Doge stimulus refund checks. And if you'd like to see those, put Doge in the comments. Because take a look here. We're hearing that Trump is actually teasing in emails, fundraising emails about potential Doge checks. Now, that would go out to anybody that is working, anybody on Social Security, even those that are just getting into the workforce this year. We're hearing that that would be included, those Doge dividend refund checks. Jason, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Steve, does this mean taxes on SSD will go away? I have to pay back about $1,300 each year. I think it will be, since it says all. Well, Jason, I will keep you up to date as the details come out. I believe it is all Social Security, but I might be mistaken. I don't want to say yes or no quite yet. Just let's get some time to get the details of whatever is in the bill released. Once that is released, I will let you know here on the channel, so stay tuned. Don't want to say yes or no just quite yet, because all we know is that they want to eliminate tax on Social Security. That's about all we've got right now. But once I find out more details, I will be sure to share. And if you appreciate that, hit the like button, subscribe to stay up to date. And let's go ahead and take a look at this article coming out in the past couple of days here, April 29th, regarding emails going out from the fundraising campaign teasing about Doge dividend refund checks, which we are yet to see if that will also be included in that big, beautiful bill. Now, this article says, recently the Trump administration has teased the prospect of Doge stimulus checks via email to supporters. While the email to supporters did not exactly guarantee the checks, which of course they would not guarantee it because we still don't know if it's an item in the bill, it did mention Doge checks specifically, using language like, do you want a Doge check? According to the Midas Touch Network's archive of political emails. However, the possibility of stimulus checks from Doge is uncertain at this time, as there must be multiple approvals by Congress before a dividend is sent out to citizens. Now, what is the Doge dividend stimulus check? Well, previously, President Donald Trump and the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, said that they are considering giving 20% of Doge savings in the form of a stimulus check to taxpayers. Here in this article, it says $5,000. Just to clarify, it is not a set amount. We've actually spoken to the CEO of Azoria, Mr. James Fishback, who clarified it's 20% of savings. If they hit their goal of $2 trillion in savings, then it could equate to a $5,000 Doge dividend stimulus refund check. But that number of 5,000 is not set. Now, we will see, though, if this is even included in the bill. It's possible it might not get the support, might not make it in. I will keep you up to date either way. Now, Elon Musk's Doge has been actively terminating certain aspects of federal spending, whether it's dissolving certain federal agencies, canceling grants and other avenues of funding, or canceling leases on federal field offices. The savings from Doge's efforts would hypothetically fund the Doge stimulus checks. So we're going to see here if these are going to be included. And like I said, once we get information as to whether or not these are in there, I will let you know right away here on the channel, so that way you can get the latest information. Now, like we just heard, Donald Trump said his agenda items, what he'd like to see, and we have heard that this could be coming here in the coming days. We're hearing they're weeks away, but we've actually heard different things, and we've heard that they could be just days away. Now, let me go ahead and play for you a couple clips here. One from Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who just gave an update a couple days ago on the status of the bill, and then one from Jason Smith, who is leading the charge on this, and he's the one that comes out and says, listen, the Ways and Means Committee, we're just days away from releasing the details of all of the items that are going to be helping out the American people in this bill. So let's start off first with this one from Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, so you can see it for yourself.
I met with Secretary Bessent today. We had a Big Six meeting. That's Kevin Hassett and the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Senator Crapo and Jason Smith and myself and Leader Thune. We had a great meeting, and we talked about how we are on our aggressive timetable that we set for the House. In fact, the Treasury Secretary gave us a nod of accolade for having been so aggressive and keeping this moving. It's important for the country. We need to get this bill done for all the reasons we've discussed. So we're still on our schedule. I think we can meet it. As you know, we have 7 committees marking up this week, 4 the following week, and then that third week, the Budget Committee will merge it all together, and we can stay on schedule. So it will be up to the Senate at that point. I think they can work expeditiously to get it done. He says July 4th because that's a big birthday for us, and everybody knows that. But I think and I hope and believe that we can get it done sooner than that.
Do you think it'll pass the House by Memorial Day?
I believe we can pass it by Memorial Day. I do.
There you have it, you guys. By Memorial Day, you heard him say it. He thinks that they're going to have this done. And Jason Smith actually said he thinks that they're going to have it done within the next couple of days. But there you heard from Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. That was April 28th, 2025. But let's go ahead and take a look at what Jason Smith, who is leading the charge with the Ways and Means Committee, had to say on this bill as well. And he's one of the ones, he is adding in the detailed line items. Let's go ahead and take a look so you can see it for yourself.
Tomorrow, it's 100 days into President Trump's second term in office. His top negotiators met at the Capitol yesterday to discuss what's next for the Republicans' mega bill and tax cuts. There are the, what did it used to be, a group of seven? What were those? The gang of, it's the gang of six, or the Magnificent Seven, Magnificent Six, and we've got one. Ways and Means Committee Chairman, maybe the best of all of them, Jason Smith, who was part of that meeting. Chairman, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you as always.
I want you to tell me everything you know, because everything that I want to ask you, I don't think we know anything. We don't know what's in it. We don't know when it's going to be doable. We don't know when the write-ups are, when the final votes are. Is there anything you can tell us definitively right now, or at least give the handicap what's happening, what's in it, and when it's going to be?
Absolutely, Joe. I will tell you that when it comes to markup and seeing bill text and legislation moving forward, we're days away, not months. We're going to provide that certainty to the markets, the certainty, the small businesses, the certainty to the families that they're going to have a very aggressive pro-growth tax bill that makes permanent Trump's expiring tax provisions from the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, but also delivering on his campaign promises when it comes to no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, tax relief for seniors. These are all things that will be in this bill moving forward.
Some of that pay for was going to be letting the top rate go back up. Now that's off the table. Is there any other way to make it less, causing less addition to the deficit?
First off, Joe, let me say that as the tax writer, the Ways and Means Chairman, I've been reading a lot of news reports talking about we're going to do X, Y, and Z, whether it's a top bracket, whether it's SALT, whether it's various IRA credits. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And so there's been a lot of reporting and a lot of hysterical releases that's been out there that's just simply not accurate. When this bill comes out, Joe, people will see exactly what it is. We're going to have a pro-growth tax bill that the markets will love and that the markets will appreciate, which the small businesses will love, the small businesses will appreciate, because it's going to be extremely pro-growth and it's going to be led by pro-growth tax policies.
All right, then, that would hurt small businesses if you went from 37 back to, and the president, can you say that's been put to, that's not going to happen? President Trump said that's not going to happen. Can you tell me that at least?
Joe, what I will say is the tax bill is all about growth, and people can extrapolate what pro-growth is, but we are going to deliver real tax relief for businesses, small businesses, working families, and farmers. It is going to be pro-growth, and the markets will love it.
Chairman Smith, we had Libby Cantrell here from PIMCO yesterday, and she said exactly that this is going to be a very pro-growth bill that is put forward. I asked her what that meant, if it means that there's not going to be pay-fors for these things if it expands the deficit, and she said yes, she believes that's the case. Is that what you see it as well?
There's absolutely going to be provisions that eliminate bad tax policy and replacing it with better tax policy. We did that in 2017. We're going to do it throughout this process.
But will it expand the deficit? We're going to eliminate a lot of different
loopholes.
Will it expand the deficit?
It will. The House budget version is much different than the Senate budget version. And in fact, we are going to expand the growth in the economy. And that's the key. If you look at the revenues coming into our country right now under the current Trump tax cuts that are current policy, current law, GDP towards revenue is 17.2%. If you look at over the last 50 years, it has averaged 17%. We are going to maintain and grow that.
My question, though, is will it expand the deficit? Because you describe pro-growth as market-friendly. Markets definitely want to see lower taxes. But if it expands the deficit, that could be something that worries the bond market.
Well, let me tell you, the deficit is only expanded by spending. If you look at over the last 5 years, when you look at spending to GDP, it has averaged 26% of GDP. The 45 years before that, spending to GDP averaged 20%. 20%. We have a spending problem. We do not have a revenue problem. What I'm working on the tax bill is in regards to the revenues that go into our coffers. Since we passed the 2017 successful Trump tax cuts, the corporate revenue receipts, even at a 21% rate, when we went from 35 to 21, has only increased dramatically. We are going to have pro-growth policies that's going to increase the revenue for our country.
I understand that, and I get what you're saying. That I agree with your math on that in terms of.
Well, how will it be scored? It'll be scored if the deficit goes up.
Will it extend the deficit?
It'll be scored that way, right? Congressman, you can do fuzzy math. So it'll be scored that way, that the deficit goes up.
Let me just say how congressional scorekeepers are. Just eliminating the $22 billion that is left from the Inflation Reduction Act for the IRS. Remember, there was $80 billion. There's $22 billion that has not been spent. Just to eliminate that, according to those congressional scorekeepers, it would cost us $65 billion. So the scorekeepers sometimes just don't put apples and oranges together. Okay. What I'm saying is the revenues are going to increase and the growth is going to be exponential.
You would hope, but those are, whether they're right or wrong, when it is scored, probably you're going to see that go. What about Medicare and Medicaid and the numbers thrown around? Do you have a better idea of what it's going to be? Somewhere around $900 billion. What is that over 10 years? And then there's arguments about whether it's a cut in the projected growth of Medicaid, not in the program itself. But then there's others that say you'd have to cut or do some, I don't know, right to work or whatever. You'd have to do some things to get existing payouts would have to be cut, not just future growth. Can you explain it? And how do you get all the Republicans on board with that? Some of the ones that might want to cut more, or some of the ones in districts that are at risk that might want to cut less?
Joe, you hit the big challenge at hand. It's threading that needle because we have some members on various different issues, whether it's spending cuts, whether it's different tax provisions. We have to thread that needle. We have to get that balance. There's 11 different committees that is part of this big, beautiful bill, as the president would say. And the committee that is completely over Medicaid is Energy and Commerce. Our committee, of course, is completely over the revenues, the tax provisions. There's a lot of things that the Energy and Commerce Committee is that they can look at and that they are looking at. One thing that could be a revenue raiser within Energy and Commerce's space is selling spectrum. This is one thing that's within theirs that can bring in a lot of money that's not being projected. The president has been crystal clear. When he's looking at this bill and spending cuts, he wants to make sure that he protects individuals' benefits. He said that you would not cut Medicare, Social Security, Medicaid, but are there efficiencies that can be put in there? Absolutely. One thing that has been raised numerous times is work requirements, but this is all within the Energy and Commerce's space. I'm not an expert in it. I'm focused on the $4.5 trillion tax bill, but it's all going to add up in the ultimately end.
But just that it was a big ask. Sounds like I'm saying something else. It was a big ask to be able to extend. I mean, there's a reason that the 2017 bill wasn't permanent. Jason, you remember that? It's because it was a deficit buster, and everybody's been worried. How do you extend it? And not only are you extending it, but you're getting all these other tax cuts that you're putting into, and you're still saying that it's not going to be a deficit buster. And the numbers are just troubling for high. And, you know, I know no one worries about the deficit. But you look at how Biden spent, and we know we can, with the reserve currency of the world, we can get it done. But do you not worry that, you know, history is going to look back and say, there they go again, both parties, just blow out. I mean, you're counting on growth, but the numbers probably don't lie.
So let's just look at this, Joe. Just in the 4 years of the Biden presidency, he added more than $10 trillion to the deficit. That's almost a third
it's their
of where
I
we're
understand.
at. But the markets wasn't talking about
you're
that.
You're opening yourself up to the same issue. When will it actually be signed, Mr. Chairman? You think it's in the summer or all the way out into the fall?
You know, I don't have a crystal ball, but what my goal as the chief tax writer is to have it delivered for the American people by July 4th. I think that that's very doable. And as long as we continue to work hand in glove with the United States Senate, which we have been, we'll be able to accomplish this. The American people are expecting this. We're going to provide imminent growth and tax policies that are transformational. When you look at the 2017 tax cuts, Joe, that you were talking about, there was numerous provisions within that were permanent, such as the corporate tax rate was permanent from 35 to 21%. Okay. In this tax bill, there will be numerous things that are made permanent. Not everything, but numerous items will be, because we're looking at the debt, the deficits. It's extremely important. The House is more focused on that than the other side of the building.
Well, the 37.
There you have it, you guys. So that was Ways and Means Chair Jason Smith on the tax bill. And this is that big, beautiful bill that we're hearing is going to be coming. You also heard from Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, and also today an update coming out from President Donald Trump. And we heard him say, hey, no tax on tip, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime, and more details are going to be coming out regarding the bill. And we're hearing that Jason Smith is saying this could be coming out in days. And you just heard him say right now the goal is to have this done hopefully by Memorial Day, but also just before 4th of July. They want to make sure that they have it done. And so we're still waiting to see, though, will those Doge dividend refund checks be included? Do you think so? If so, we put yes. If no, put no. We're also hearing, as I mentioned, Donald Trump today saying Social Security, it's going to be income tax relief for seniors along with those other items. And we're still waiting to see what's going to be happening with this big, beautiful bill that's going to be having massive impacts for millions of Americans around the nation. Now, as soon as the details come out, the specifics regarding what's going to be included in the bill, I'll be sure to hop on here on the channel and let you know right away so you know everything that is going on. And if you appreciate that, do me a favor, take a quick second. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like button. That simple gesture helps out the channel a ton. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And as I mentioned, if you're interested, free Medicare help for those of you that are interested, available as well with Chapter Medicare. Thank you to them making this available, giving out free help to those who are on Medicare or turning 65 if you are interested. So check them out. Right here is their phone number. And that is the latest, you guys. All of these articles that I've referenced are going to be linked in the description below, so that way you can see them for yourself. You can rest assured and know that this is the latest. But that's what we've got. As more comes out, I'll be sure to let you know. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for the super chats, the supports, hitting the like button. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.